Hello all, and welcome to today's beer review. It is a Friday, so it is a daytime beer review, and I am dubbing this beer review the ill-timed beer review. Why is it ill-timed? Well, for multiple reasons. One is because this video might crash, which is a bad idea because I only have like a standalone bomber today. Why might it crash? Because I'm trying to upload videos right now. So if you haven't noticed, I kind of have a lag in between when I actually review these and when I actually upload them, which can be stretched into months. And that is because my internet really profoundly sucks. It takes me well over an hour to upload one video. So, and while I'm doing that, I can't really do anything else on my computer. It gets very unstable. One, because my computer is a little bit old, and two, because the software kind of sucks for this. If you haven't noticed, the software kind of sucks on this recording thing here. And yeah, you just heard my Facebook thing kind of go off. I usually don't have a browser open, and in fact, I usually have my computer just start up, and then I go and record a video just to make sure it's extra stable, because this thing crashes quite a bit. The other thing is because I went and bought a cigar for after I finished this beer, and I brewed up a cup of tea, a pu'er tea. But despite it being sunny all day, ridiculously hot and sunny, in which I was doing a fuck ton of yard work, sorry for the language, now it's decided looking like it's going to rain. And because I have no ledge outside, if I do smoke and it starts raining, I'm shit out of luck, which is kind of sucky because I went and got a nice cigar. You know, my favorite kind. My Uzi weighs a ton. So, after this beer review, I'm going to go and chance it and see if I can get a smoke in. But what are we reviewing today, 2 minutes into the video? Well, we are reviewing Kona Brewing's Lanai series. This is a pineapple IPA with real pineapple. And this one just came out with, oddly, even though it says it's bottled February 8th. I'm not sure why it takes beer so long. Beer's ostensibly brewed in Hawaii. I know this one's actually brewed in California. So long to come out on the shelf. But this one actually is probably a little bit closer to a real IPA because it is a 6.7 ABV. So, you know, the other Kona IPAs are kind of like baby IPAs. 6.0. So let's read the label, shall we? Our limited release Lanai series is a collection of island-inspired beers created by our brewmasters in Kona over the past 2 decades to highlight unique tropical island flavors and remind us why Hawaii is so special. Available for only a few short months, these beers are for those who agree. You have but one life. You have but one life. Live it well, brother. Aloha. So I haven't tried this before, so this is going to be straight off the bat. And let's get to it, shall we? Ooh, can smell the pineapple off of that already. Giving it a fairly vigorous pour here. Slightly cloudy, yellow-orange, or I suppose it'd probably be closer to say orange-yellow. Somewhat carbonated. With a fluffy white head. Not very white, maybe slightly towards off-white. And you definitely smell the pineapple there. Doesn't smell like fresh pineapple, smells a little bit more like canned pineapple though. Oddly enough, for Kona, it's very dank for Kona. Kona's other smells usually don't have that kind of dankness to it. Other hop-based kind of tropical fruit. It is really dank, this beer. Can't really get much in the way of malts, just that sort of malt-hop interplay with the tropical fruit flavors, tropical fruit smells. So, let's taste it. Wow, that's bitter. actually very dry. I was expecting, you know how the style is for a lot of these very tropical smelling, tropical inflected sort of IPAs is to be on the sweet side. This is actually bone dry. Very crackery malts up front. Resiny finish, resiny, long, bitter hop finish. Not too intense, definitely IPA intense. I would have to say the pineapple doesn't really make too much of a show on the palate. It's still there in the more effervescent notes, kind of subtly. But what I would say that it adds to is that it really amps up this beer's acidity. Not so much tartness per se, but there's just a bite to it. And that's sort of beyond the carbonation. As it warms up, there's a slight sweet note that emerges in the mids, but not all that much. It's still pretty much bone dry. All the pineapple and fruity notes are up here. You know, there's not really much of it on the palate. You know, you got that resiny hop finish, you got grassy notes, some herbaceous notes to it. On top of that, kind of crackery malt base, which is fairly subdued due to the dryness. It doesn't really drink like a 6.7, doesn't feel heavy at all. It feels more like a 5.5 or so, 5.0, more like in between 5.0 and 6.0. So definitely within, you know, the Kona Brewing's stylistic guidelines of being kind of drinkable. Though I am kind of shocked by how much they went and pushed the bitterness of this. I would truly expect them to add a little bit more, you know, to leave a little bit more residual sugars in the fermenting process there in order for it to be a little bit more sweet, because this was probably pushing the envelope for your average Kona Brewing drinker. In that, you know, being that they're Craft Brewers Association, aka Anheuser-Busch, aka InBev, you know, it's kind of interesting that they would push such, you know, that they would put out something so heavily bitter. That said, I'm kind of enjoying this because I'm getting kind of tired of tropical ones that are, you know, so sweet up front. It's kind of a shocker this way this one smells versus the way it sits on your palate. Okay, 9.0, 9 minutes. So, Kona Brewing Lanai series with pineapple. Well, the pineapple is there, the hops are there. You know, it's definitely something to go and try if you're into IPAs and you want to try one that's a little, definitely, you know, tropical but very dry, which is kind of different from how most tropical IPAs are right now. Not my particular cup of tea per se. That's because I'm getting kind of tired of IPAs. They're being well overdone right now. And I might want to go and try and drink some other things in the meanwhile. So, folks, that is your beer review for tonight. Oh, and this is very, you know, affordable, considering, but very affordable and findable. So go out and try it if you get a chance, if you like IPAs. That's your beer review for tonight, folks. Cheers. Or today, folks. Cheers.